Broadcasting from the basement of La Penta, this is WIC.
Hello, Iona College. Welcome back to Lights Out Sports. I'm your host, Rob Buncardo. And first off, today we're going to start off with our NFL segment. I just have a quick little soundbite for you guys.
You know, the record doesn't speak for the talent level they have. It's a hard-fought win. I thought we started fast, put some points on the board. Kind of stumbled through the second quarter and didn't get really going until the end of the third and in the fourth. So no matter how you look at it, it's a good win.
Okay, that was Eric Decker after the New York Jets win over the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday, 28-23. I mean, guys, we heard it in Decker's voice. Yes, it's a great win, but he sounded kind of down in that clip. The New York Jets, I mean, they beat Jacksonville, but it was ugly. The offense looked good with Fitzpatrick, but the defense was atrocious.
I mean, if I'm a playoff caliber team like the New York Jets, I'd be a little bit disappointed with a late victory against Jacksonville, in which they almost gave up the game. So this is definitely an ugly win. They need to improve. For who they play Buffalo this Thursday night, right? Buffalo
Thursday.
So that's going to be a division rival. Rex Ryan's going to be back at MetLife. So that's going to be a crazy game.
We look at the Jets, though, Armand and Terrence. Right now, the team is just so banged up. Cromartie was struggling at times in the game. I find out he has a bruise. Nick Mangold is injured at the time. Willie Colon is injured at the time. It's going to be tough, especially playing this Buffalo team. They're healthy, but this New York Jets team, if they weren't banged up at the moment, they'd probably be doing what they were doing from week one, which was shutting people down.
I think the biggest problem concerning the New York Jets is Chris Ivory. The last couple of weeks, Chris Ivory has been involved in the passing game, but in the beginning of the year, he was one of the best rushers in the league. He was averaging almost like 6 yards a carry. Like, he was insane the first couple of weeks. And now this week what did he go, like 26 for 23 rushes or something crazy like that. But I know he had a couple touchdowns, and I know the week before that he had a receiving touchdown. But the thing is, with the New York Jets, it all starts and ends with Chris Ivory in my eyes.
Well, the thing is, I think he's been playing banged up since the New England Patriot game when he got injured in the first quarter. I think it's just not being revealed that he's injured. I think he is playing, though, injured. That's the thing. Because Chris Ivory usually is explosive, and we're not seeing that whatsoever in these last couple games. Maybe we could credit, it's the offensive line. Willie Colon's out. Nick Mangold's playing hurt. Maybe those are the reasons. But I also think Ivory has a nagging injury at this point.
I mean, I think so too, but when you watch, he's not making the same cuts that he would make originally. He's not finding the gap in the run game. So I think it's also a testament of Chris Ivory. Yes, I think he's injured, but also I think that maybe he could be declining in one sense. Maybe the same, whatever was making him motivated to run like that in the beginning, that same sense is not there. And I think the offensive line is definitely a good point. The loss of Willie Colon and a banged-up Nick Mangold. I mean, a runner is as good as an offensive line makes them. It's the same thing with a quarterback and a wide receiver.
We stressed that with DeMarco Murray earlier this season.
Oh, absolutely.
You stressed it. Why was Murray so good? Able to get 1,000 yards? Because Dallas's offensive line is so great. Look at Darren McFadden now with Dallas. The last couple weeks, able to pick up over 100 yards in games. So, I mean, obviously, this is the biggest killer right now for the New York Jets. Coming into this week versus Buffalo, I mean, it's going to be a tough challenge. Buffalo, not so great as we all thought. Yes, you know what? They have a pretty decent defense. Don't have that great of a secondary, which hopefully Brandon Marshall and Decker could just exploit from right out of the alley. But the New York Jets are going to have to shut down LaShawn McCoy, and they're going to have to get to the quarterback this whole game. That's how the Jets will beat the Buffalo Bills. Bad enough you come into this game right now, and you know what? I've always loved Rex Ryan. But right now, I'm saying this as most unclassiest move I've ever seen from him as a coach. It's time to stop with the comedic behavior because his team is just one annoying team. I can't stand the Bills whatsoever. They just pick up penalties. They're undisciplined whatsoever. And it comes down to their coach, Ryan. He just names his captain now for Thursday. IK, the guy who punched Geno Smith, knocked Geno Smith out of his starting role. Some Jets fans are saying he gave the Jets the blessing they needed. But how unclassy of a coach could you really be? For real. I'm listening to Michael Kay last night on my ride home, and Michael Kay goes, we could what the Jets should do in this moment is send absolutely nobody out, or you send Geno Smith out there with a huge check that says $600 as a joke. Because you know what? Ryan has just lost all class in all senses.
Yeah, I mean, Rex Ryan definitely. I never really respected Rex Ryan as a Jets coach. I always thought he wasn't very classy. He was always kind of a trash talker. And honestly, Rex Ryan pulling something like this, I could understand where it's coming from, because Rex Ryan was always like that, even when he was the head coach for the Jets. Mm-hmm. He was always kind of a low hitter. He's always a dirty coach in my eyes. I mean, did you expect this, like Rex Ryan doing something like this?
I didn't expect it because when he left the Jets, how much he's loved the organization altogether. And, I mean, this New York Jets team, he loves the owner. He loves Woody Johnson. Do you think this was done, we look at it as, my last year in New York, John Idzik kind of messed me up. He signed absolutely nobody. He sabotaged my job. Is that what we're seeing, why he's coming out like this? Is Ryan holding a grudge? Is he the Grinch right now on this Thursday?
I mean, it's not surprising that he would come out and do something like that, though. Like, you actually sound shocked that he would, do that just because of the fact that the dude injured Geno Smith. But, like you said, we've seen it before, though. Like, he's a very, I'm not gonna say like a dirty coach. Like, I can't really explain, like, say he's a dirty coach, but it's more of a low blow, though. Especially, like, to the opposing team, obviously. Mm-hmm. Especially to the team that he coached last year, too, so.
Mm-hmm. And now, going into this week, do you see this as something that lights the Jets up right now, makes this team want to come out for victory? Because right now, I'm listening to Todd Bowles yesterday, and Todd Bowles goes, we just ignore it. We're sending out our captains no matter what. And he's right. You know what? There's no reason to start a whole situation up. It's either what happens is your locker room's going to get fired up anyway, and that's what's going to happen in this game. The Jets' locker room's going to get fired up by this, and they're going to come out and they're going to pound the Bills, and they're going to go and take their lead right now for the wild card spot.
I mean, I was definitely going to say, that's definitely motivation for the Jets team too, especially to do a move like that. Like, obviously you're going to get your team, they're all fired up and everything. They're obviously going to come out and they're definitely going to want the win.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hopefully they can pull it out. It's going to be tough. Buffalo's always a challenge. I always say, no matter how bad a team is, when it comes down to division games, it's always a challenge for both teams. And hopefully the Jets could pull out this win, go 6-3 right now. Obviously, right now they're in the wild card race, and we look at it right now. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers, we have the Oakland Raiders, the Jets, and we have the Bills right now. And this Jets team, if they pull off this victory, could kind of solidify themselves to take a big leap in the wild card, because the Steelers right now will be without Big Ben Roethlisberger for the next couple weeks.
Yeah, but they still only 1 to 2 weeks. It's not that big of an injury to Pittsburgh. You want to know why? Because Pittsburgh plays Cleveland this week, and then they have a bye. Mm-hmm. So Landry Jones has enough athleticism, and he's capable enough to beat a Cleveland Brown struggling team led by Johnny Manziel. I mean, this is a capable and easy win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mm-hmm. It's probably best that coming off the bye, because then they play Seattle, and they're gonna need Big Ben for a game like that. Mm-hmm. I think the Steelers will be there when it's all said and done. I don't know if Oakland has enough.
Yeah, we've kind of been seeing their offense has been great, but their defense versus Pittsburgh was, yeah. I don't even know what happened to it. I mean,
the secondary was horrible. The run game was horrible. Everything was horrible. And the crazy thing is they have some good people on that defense. They have Justin Tuck. They have Charles Woodson, Khalil Mack. They have players. Mm-hmm. They just can't get it done.
No. And now, final thing for this segment, guys. If the Jets lose this game, do you see it as this now, it's going to be 10 times harder to make the wild card spot in the AFC?
I don't think so.
No?
Because right now, if you think about the AFC, it's not that competitive when it comes to the wild card chase. The NFC, it's more competitive because there's a lot of teams that are similar in record. AFC, we talked about 3 teams, Rob. We talked about the Jets. If the Bills were to somehow knock off the Jets, they'd be right back in it.
Yeah.
And then you have Oakland and Pittsburgh. That's not usually in a situation like this. Halfway throughout the season, there's 6 or 7 teams fighting for that wild card, for those 2 wild cards. This year, there's 4. So if you think about, another reason might be because of the Bengals, the Broncos, and the Patriots combining for a 24-1 record, or 23-1 record. Mm-hmm. So the pack is really set high because there's so many superior teams with great winning percentages. So that's kind of affecting, the lowering of the standings.
Yeah, most definitely. Hopefully this Jets team, hopefully they could pull out this victory this week, hoping they finish 11-5. Obviously not winning the division.
No, they're not finishing 11-5.
We are going to finish 11-5.
No, you're not. What are you, 5-3?
Oh, Rob.
Listen,
Yes, the 5.
I will predict the future.
11.
Wait, you said.
I give you best 10-6.
Wait,
I think you could do
what did Rob just say?
10-6.
He said 12-5.
11-5.
He said 11-5. Oh,
That
You
would-
can't go 12-5.
That would, yeah,
I wasn't listening
that
to
would
what you
mean
were
they go
saying.
6-2 to finish out, which
I
is
know.
not
I
going
was
to
listening to
happen.
what you just said just now.
They're going to lose
What?
when they play New England again.
I think they could beat New England.
No.
I think they can.
No.
No, they can't.
No.
Yes, they can.
No, they cannot.
Yes, they can.
Nobody
guys.
could beat New
I don't
England.
even think the
The only
Patriots
team
will
that could
lose
beat
the
New
regular
England
season.
maybe is Carolina.
I don't even think the Patriots are going to lose the regular season, though.
No.
You think the Jets are going to beat? No.
The hardest game the Patriots have is they play Denver in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, the Broncos defense. I mean, otherwise they should be able to.
Well,
exploit
you know
Peyton
what's
Manning.
funny? Peyton Manning, the offense looked pretty good last week, but it was the defense which was garbage, and the
Yeah.
defense is the best in football statistically going into last week's game, into yesterday's game, whatever, 2 days ago.
But even Manning, he's still having the struggles, still throwing the interceptions. That's one dislike we're seeing this year. Kind of looking like Brett Favre towards the end of his career, where Favre could throw touchdowns but was throwing so many interceptions. And it's just such a killer for him. But, I mean, hopefully this Jets team clinches a wild card spot. Want to see them back in the playoffs. Haven't been there in so long, and as a Jets fan, everybody knows how much I suffer through every year. We are going to go on a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be talking some NBA with you guys. We'll be right back.
You're listening to
Why are you jumping